Hi there, I'm Marina, a developer relations engineer at Google, and today I'm going to set up and run a Gemma model from scratch in different ways. And I'm timing each one of them, so let's see how quick it can go. But first things first, what is Gemma? Well, Gemma is Google's family of lightweight, state-of-the-art open models perfect for developers and researchers. And guess what? We just had a new version launched. Watch this video to learn more about all the new capabilities available in Gemma 3, like multimodality and multilinguality. New for this release, Gemma 3 is now conveniently available through an API for prototyping. This is a great way to explore Gemma 3 capabilities, so this is definitely the first method I want to try. First, I need to install the Google GenAI SDK, which I'll do in my Python environment. All I have to do is run this pip install command, which takes a few seconds. Next, I need to get an API key in Google AI Studio. This is also an easy step. I just need to open Google AI Studio and click on Create API Key. Here in the API Keys window, I need to click Create API Key one more time. And in a few seconds, I can see this pop-up that allows me to copy my key. Nice! Now that I've got my API key, I can go ahead and write some code. In order to test, I'll create a Python script that imports the SDK, creates a client with my API key, and calls my preferred Gemma model with this prompt. Last step, run my Python script on my terminal with this command. And in a few seconds, I can see the response returned by Gemma. Awesome! In a few minutes, I was able to make my first call to Gemma via API using the Google GenAI SDK. Alright, time to see how fast I can run the Gemma 3 model with Keras, which I'll do in Google Colab. Quick overview of these concepts. Keras Hub is a collection of models implemented in Keras and runnable on JAX, PyTorch, and TensorFlow. Colab is a free, cloud-based Jupyter Notebook environment that allows you to write and execute Python workflows in your browser. Before I can run the Gemma 3 model, I need to request access to the model through Kaggle. Kaggle is a community for anyone interested in data science and machine learning, from beginners to experts. On Kaggle, you have access to AI models, datasets, competitions, and a lot of great material to learn and improve your AI skills. And it's all backed by a community of millions of Kaggle users. Okay, let's give this a try. First, I'll create a Kaggle account, which is a very simple step as I can quickly sign in with Google. Then, I'll navigate to the models page and search for Gemma. There it is. I'll request access and review the Gemma terms of use. Now I need to create a notebook on Colab, click on Change Runtime Type, and select T4 GPU under Hardware Accelerator, which I can do for no cost. This will ensure that my Colab runtime has sufficient resources to run the Gemma model. And to connect my Colab to the terms of service I've just accepted on Kaggle, I need to provide my Kaggle username and my Kaggle API key. So I'm going to navigate to the Account tab on Kaggle and select Create New Token. This will trigger the download of a Kaggle JSON file containing my API credentials. Back on Colab, I need to authorize this specific notebook to use my secrets as a one-off action. To do so, I'll select Secrets and create two new secrets, Kaggle username and Kaggle key. Then I'll copy and paste these values from the JSON file that I just downloaded. Cool, now I can write my Python code here in Colab. First, I'll set the environment variables for username and key. Then, I'll install Keras and Keras Hub and install a backend. Keras 3 lets you choose between TensorFlow, JAX, and PyTorch for the backend. All three will work. I'm going to use JAX for this test. Next, I need to import these Keras packages. And now, I'm ready to create a model by running the FromPreset method. This may take a while as it's downloading a model of billions of parameters. But once the model is created, I can use it to do a bunch of different tasks. For this test, I'll just generate a simple text. Moving on, now I want to run Gemma 3 with Ollama on my computer. If you're not familiar with Ollama, it is a tool that makes it easy to run large language models, or LLMs, locally on your computer. Essentially, it simplifies the process of downloading, managing, and running AI models without needing to rely solely on cloud-based services. Okay, let's see how fast this is. To run Gemma 3 with Ollama, the first thing I need to do is download and install the Ollama software. I'm going to download the installer from the Ollama website. The installation itself is very intuitive and quick. And once it's finished, I can confirm it worked by running Ollama version on my terminal. The Ollama installation package does not include any models by default, so I need to download the Gemma 3 model using the pull command, as you can see here. And I can check it worked by running Ollama list. Nice, here it is. Now let's run Gemma 3 with this prompt and see what happens. It worked. The model was downloaded automatically in the background, and now I can see the response here on my terminal. Once again, in only a few minutes, I was able to get the Gemma 3 model running, this time with Ollama. Oh, and if you use Ollama, you can deploy Gemma on a GPU-enabled Cloud Run service. What struck me the most from trying Gemma out for the first time was how easy it was. I was experimenting with fun prompts within minutes in all the different setups I tried. The documentation was a huge help too. Everything was clear and easy to find on the Google AI developer pages. I'll leave the link to the documentation in the description below, and I definitely recommend checking that out if you want to get started with Gemma. I can't wait to see everything you create with these new models.